Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you all are doing good. Until the time we have discussed the topics that is till now whatever the topics we have discussed, I guess that is pretty clear. That was regarding the post exploitation, which in which we have basically covered the topics such as the privilege escalations, and you can say the covering of the tracks and the logs, hiding evidences and the identity of a person like an ethical hacker, how an ethical hacker hide their presence inside a system or the compromise system. And moving on further, for this particular video we are going to discuss about the day 13 content, which is going to cover up our week 4 content. Day 13 module comprises of the topic that is wireless hacking, and in which particularly we are going to discuss about the subtopics such as the Wi-Fi encryptions, Wi-Fi encryptions, which are basically WEP, WPA, and WPA2 as well. And another subtopic that we're going to cover is the tools needed for this particular session or the module, and as well as the hands-on, as promised and told, always hands-on. New video in part 2, we will be discussing about the commands we need, or you can say the tools we basically are going to use for this particular session and module. So without wasting time, let's just hop on to the topic. That firstly we are going to discuss about the wireless hacking. What is wireless hacking, and why do we and how do attackers or hackers perform wireless hacking? Basically, wireless hacking is a kind of hacking. Let me just write it down here. Is Just give me a second, guys. Yeah, is a kind of hacking is a kind of hacking which is basically performed over the internet or the Wi-Fi. Because why Wi-Fi or internet? Because the things are not connected in a physical mode, and that leads to the transmission of data in airwaves. Airwaves is not wired but wireless, and that is what somehow wireless hacking is. When an attacker sniffs your data sniffs your data from airwaves. Let's just take an example so that I can make it really easy for you guys to understand. Let's say this is victim 1, this is victim 2. Let's say this is this victim 1 system, and let's say this is victim number 2 system, victim number 2 system. And while they're transmitting data from one particular system to another system, let's say victim 1 to victim 2, or you can say vice versa, that means victim 2 to victim 1, if the data is being transmitted that way, transmitted from one to another through airwaves, that is basically through through internet. As you can see, while transmitting data from victim 1 to victim 2, that means transmitting the data through airwaves, that is basically through internet. What we can say is what the attacker is doing is, let me just write it down here. Yeah, okay. What basically an attacker is doing, let's say this is an attacker sitting in the midst of the internet, or you can say the network. Particularly, attacker is sitting over here in the midst. Attacker is sitting over here in the midst, and what he or she is doing is, the attacker is basically sniffing the data. Let me just make a diagram so that, yeah, is doing what? Is basically sniffing the data which is being transmitted, from one victim to another victim, and that would lead to data being stolen through wireless hacking. Understood, guys? So that's how we perform wireless hacking. And as I have already mentioned, wireless hacking, the basic necessity nowadays, just give me a second, guys. Necessities nowadays is only two things. Rather, it could be internet, or you can say Wi-Fi. These are the two basic necessities nowadays, and without it, the data cannot be transmitted from from one system, or from one particular end to another particular end of the network, or you can say throughout the world. The basic necessity is internet and Wi-Fi, and that's how we transmit data from one end to another end, or one place to another place, and that's how we are connected in today's era. So if let's just imagine, what if your Wi-Fi or your internet is compromised and your data is getting leaked through that particular Wi-Fi system? Isn't it scary, guys? It is, isn't it? And if it is scary, what how to protect it and prevent it from happening? There comes the usage of Wi-Fi encryptions. And to prevent the compromising of, you can say, just give me a second, let me write on it. To protect, let's say, to protect the compromising of the to prevent the compromising of the you can say the system connected to Wi-Fi, or our Wi-Fi system, or our Wi-Fi itself, we need Wi-Fi encryptions, which are basically, number one is WEP, number two is WPA, and number three is WPA2. And you can say so that Wi-Fi encryption has been upgraded since have been upgrading or has been upgraded since 1990s. The upgradation of the Wi-Fi encryption has been working since this 1990s, and that's why we have these three till now. That for earlier it was WEP. After we got to know that WEP still have some weaknesses, we moved on and created our new Wi-Fi encryption, that is WPA. Then moving on, we saw some more weaknesses in the WPA. Then we led to the WPA2, and nowadays we might have heard about, some of you might have heard about that WPA3 is also coming into the existence sooner or later, in order to prevent our Wi-Fi and to give a Wi-Fi encryption a more solid foundation in itself. So moving on further, we'll be discussing about the WEP first. What is the usage of WEP, and what is the full form of WEP, and how it works actually. WEP stands for Wired Equivalent Protection, or Privacy Equivalent Privacy. As its name itself suggests, guys, a wired equivalent privacy. It gives us the privacy which is equivalent, which is basically equivalent, or you can say equivalent, or equal to, which is basically equivalent or equal to a wired privacy, or security measures, and okay, measures And that's how WEP is known to give the privacy which is almost equal to wired privacy, as it was created and formed into the 1990s itself, as it is an older and a less secure protocol. That's why it is almost equal to wired privacy, not as much as strong as of WPA or WPA2. So WEP is an older and least secure is an older and least secure protocol designed to provide wireless network a level of security and privacy, and privacy. Just give me a second. Yeah. Security and privacy. It basically uses a static keys, making it easier to crack over time. Now, as I already mentioned, that it is an older and a least secure protocol, so that we can see that it basically uses the static keys. Static keys are what? I'll mention static keys. Okay, I did a mistake. Yeah, let me write it down here. Static keys. And what basically are static keys, guys? Static keys are stable keys which do not modify, okay, which do not modify or keeps on changing over the time, changing over the time, making it least secure, because if the key is not getting changed, oh, what can happen is, if the key is not getting changed, the keys can still be reused, which can lead to Wi-Fi hacking or wireless hacking. So let's just take an example and let me write it down. It uses static keys and it can be cracked easily. Let's just say there is a victim system, victim system, and victim system is connected to a wireless, you can say a wireless system, or you can say a Wi-Fi, which uses a WEP encryption, right? If the system is using WEP encryption, there are chances that WEP encryption have a usage of static keys, and they are same all over the time, and when they are same all over the time and they haven't changed from quite a long time, and someone got that key from your particular place, or you can say your system, because your system is compromised, right? Or you can say you are using a public Wi-Fi where the WEP encryption is implemented. WEP is implemented, and if WEP is implemented, then it is for sure static keys are similar, and what and after that, and let me write down there, and after that the attacker can sniff your data, because hacker is also using the same Wi-Fi, leading to a huge data loss and privacy breach as well. I hope WEP is clear that how static keys can lead to a data loss as well as privacy breach, and also it is least secured, and it is an older version which was implemented in its 1990s. After that, moving on further, we are going to discuss about the particular topic, that is WPA. WPA stands for, guys, Wi-Fi protected access. Wi-Fi protected access. And what basically Wi-Fi protected access do is, it is an improvement over the WEP. As I stated, the WEP is least secured, so there comes the WPA into an existence after WEP. Moving on, and what basically it do is, it introduced to the TKIP. Introduces TKIP, temporal key integrity protocol, I guess. Yeah, temporal key integrity protocol. Now you might be thinking, what is this TKIP and what is basically the temporal key integrity protocol? As its name itself is suggesting, that it dynamically changes keys. It is a temporal key. Temporal means a kind of temporary, you can say temporary keys. Temporary keys usage. WPA uses temporary keys which dynamically changes. And I have stated in the earlier WEP that it uses static keys. Static keys means the same, the keys are going to remain same, whereas in the dynamic keys or dynamically changing key, there is change. And what changes basically this is, dynamically changing key, it means it keeps on changing time after time. And if the temporal key integrity, as I have already stated, integrity means modification, that there should not be any modification or something, like integrity basically mean that. But here this means, temporal key integrity protocol means, to keep the data unmodified or to keep the data safe, we are using temporary keys which dynamically changes time to time and time after time, so that to protect the system, making it more secure, making it more secure and safe. And it still have some weaknesses. Okay, so I hope WPA is also clear to you guys. In this, basically we are going to use the TKIP, which plays a huge role in this particular Wi-Fi protected access encryption protocol. Now moving on further, we are going to discuss about is number 3, that is WPA2. WPA2 is also the more secure and the evolved version of the WPA. WPA2 means the version number 2 of the Wi-Fi protected access. As I have written the full form above, so I'm not writing on here. And you can see WPA basically means Wi-Fi protected access, and its version number 2. 2 means the version of number 2 of this particular WPA. It is a current standard. It is a current standard of the Wi-Fi encryption, which is being used everywhere, and more secure than other protocols which we have discussed yet. And this particular WPA2 uses AES, guys. AES stands for advanced encryption standard. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, as I have mentioned, there is WEP which uses static keys, WPA uses TKIP, but for the modification and for more for the more securing of security of the Wi-Fi protocols, or you can say the Wi-Fi or internet, we are using Wi-Fi encryption WPA2, which uses AES, that is Advanced Security Standard, and in this particular it is it is used for stronger encryption. And there is one more catch in it, that it uses CCMP. CCMP is basically for, guys, counter cipher mode for you can say counter cipher mode for protection. Yeah, something like that. I don't remember the particular full form of CCMP, but you can say that CCMP is also a counter cipher mode for protection. And what this cache do is basically it gives us the data integrity. That means it not only protects the data while getting transmitted from one end to another, but also safeguards your data at data at rest. That means the data you are having or keeping in your system is also safeguarded and secured using this particular WPA2. So that was all for this particular video. For you can say for the tools and hands-on, I'll be coming up with a new video and a new module that will be day 13 part 2, and you can see all the commands and tools that we are going to use in that particular video. So for this particular session, what we have basically discussed is wireless hacking. That means the hacking which is not connected to a physical mode, but it is connected in a wireless mode. That is basically our internet or Wi-Fi if got hacked, how we can protect it. For the protection of the Wi-Fi or internet, what we are going to use is we are going to use Wi-Fi encryptions, and for that we have discussed WEP, WPA and WPA2. WEP, WPA, WPA2 are the Wi-Fi encryptions, and as well as WEP stands for wired equivalent privacy, which uses static keys which are not changeable, or you can say which are unchangeable, or not which cannot be modified, which remains same all over the time, which can lead to a least security and can be cracked over the time. So moving on further, we have is WPA, that is Wi-Fi protected access, and in this particular it is an improvement over the WEP, and it introduces TKIP. TKIP is temporal key integrity protocol. Temporary key uses which dynamically changing key. That means it can it is not static, it dynamically keeps on changing the keys over and over the time. And after that there comes the WPA2, that is Wi-Fi protected access version number 2, and which is an evolved version of WPA. It uses AES as well as the CCMP for the data integrity as well as stronger encryption to keep your data safe and sound all over this particular, you can say, while transmitting data over the internet, or you can say using the Wi-Fi or in public Wi-Fi's. So these are the protection encryptions you can use over your Wi-Fi in order to prevent your data leakage and data breach. So I hope this video is pretty clear, guys. If you like the video, please do not forget to subscribe my channel and also hit the like button. Share your previous reviews and comments in the comment section down below, and share it with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get a benefit out of it. Hope you like the video. So till the time, take care. I'll be coming up soon with a new video. Till the time, bye bye, take care, guys.